My goal in this video is simply to provide a few basics on things that people seem to be misunderstanding. The purpose of this video is to provide some basic information to try to clear up some of the confusion people have had about, one, how do you end up getting sick with a virus? And then two, what is the effectiveness of using these masks? You might know someone who's actually gotten sick and they've been wearing a mask the whole time. So let's talk about how you end up getting sick in the first place. Well, first of all, you actually cause yourself to get sick the majority of the time. And the way you do that is you end up touching a surface that has some type of virus or bacteria on it, and then you end up touching your face. The number one way that viruses and bacteria get into your system is through your nose and your mouth. Now, you can also contract those and end up inoculating yourself with some type of disease through the eyes or the mouth or really any opening.
Don't touch your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your face. That is the trick, so you don't get sick.
Now, there was a study done that says that on average, people tend to touch their face over 20 times in 1 hour. Yeah, 20 times in an hour, someone's touching somewhere on their face. A virus cannot go through your skin, and that's why hand washing is so effective. We don't have to worry about the virus touching our skin and getting into our system. Now, the first thing you need to remember is that it's not the soap that is killing or cleaning your hands. It's the bubbles. If you don't have bubbles, you're not actually cleaning your hand. It is the bubbles that are created that actually begins to break down that virus and try to tear it apart. But even if the virus isn't destroyed in the process of cleaning your hands, the bubbles still help to wash it off of your skin and send it down the sink. So let's talk about the effectiveness of a mask. So let's say that you have gone out into public and you have appropriately worn your mask. You get home, you take off your mask, and then you wash your hands, and yet you still get sick. Well, let's take the idea that maybe what happened was when you took off your mask, you contracted or placed a virus onto your mask through your hands, or maybe you walked through a droplet field that someone had coughed or sneezed into the air and got the virus on your mask. Now, you may have washed your hands, but do you end up moving that mask afterwards? So I go and touch this mask to put it away. I have just, once again, allowed my skin to come in contact with the virus. And if I then touch my face,
Your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your face.
touch my face thinking that I'm safe because I did hand washing, I could still inoculate myself and make myself sick. Now, maybe it's not you. Maybe your mask is clean, or you make sure you take care to clean your mask every time it's worn out. Now, that doesn't mean that everybody that you are around in your household is going to be doing the same thing. Maybe they are also hand washing, but they had the mask that had a virus on it and set it on the counter, and now somehow that virus came in contact and might be on the counter that you then touch later or prepare food on. So there's hundreds of thousands, if not more, ways that you could accidentally end up getting sick, even though you are trying to do everything right. So now let's focus on the effectiveness of the mask anyways. Is there a point to wearing them if it seems like no matter what you do, you might get sick? Realize that there's really not much in life that is 100% proof. Masks are no different. They're not a 100% safeguard against the viruses that are out there plaguing society. No, instead, they are all about risk reduction. Let me say that again. It's all about risk reduction. All right, you want to reduce the chances that you end up contracting the virus. It's not necessarily always going to stop or prevent it, but it is going to keep you safer. It's no different than when you ask someone to wear a seatbelt. Can you still be injured or possibly killed in a wreck wearing a seatbelt? Absolutely, but it reduces the risk, and that's what we're trying to do. So let's go through the different types of masks and their effectiveness. Now, most viruses are smaller than the water droplets that come out of our mouths when we're talking, coughing, or sneezing. However, most of those viruses are traveling within those droplets. So if we can stop the droplets, we greatly reduce the risk of any virus being able to make it anywhere else. And that's where a mask comes in handy. Now, the one problem I see with this is that when someone does go to cough or sneeze, many times I see people actually removing the mask, which then defeats the purpose of wearing the mask for when someone does cough or sneeze. So let's take a look at the different materials. All right. If you have a single cloth mask, that would be something like a gaiter. Now, it's better than wearing nothing, but it still allows quite a bit of those water droplets to get through. Now, it's going to prevent them from traveling as far away, but you're still going to be able to spread it onto surfaces and areas around you. So let's double that up. A lot of us are wearing cloth masks now, and they do a pretty good job. And of course, if you really wanted to up the ante on preventing things from getting out into the air, an N95 mask is going to do a whole lot better. That's only talking about the people who maybe are already sick, preventing them from spreading it out into the world. But what about those of us who are still virus-free? Why do we need to then wear the mask also? Let's say that I've got a friend. This friend, for some reason, has agreed to let me shoot a BB in their direction. Now, I'm not going to use the sights. I'm only going to point it in their direction and then fire the BB. Now, is there a chance I might miss? Yes. But there's a really good chance I might end up hitting them. The BB is going to act like the virus in this case. And as I shoot it across, that's going to be me talking, sneezing, or coughing. Now, they are much more vulnerable if I just leave them in the open. But let's say that I come to them and I say, you know what? You have your choice. You can either put nothing in between us and hope for the best, or you can hide behind this thick plastic construction fencing. Now, it's true. The BB can easily get through. There's also large pieces of plastic that the BB might hit. And if you stop the BB, in this analogy, you stop the virus and you end up not getting sick. Well, now if we begin doubling or tripling that fencing so that we reduce the size of the holes, we have reduced the risk that my friend is going to have at being hit by the BB. Doing all of this, sadly, does not say that you will not end up contracting a virus. But in the long run, it is going to reduce your risk, making you and everybody else around you that much safer. Now, I'm going to end with one last thing that I've been learning a lot about recently. The wonderful thing is that we are slowly but surely reducing the immediate deaths being caused by coronavirus. The problem is we're starting to see that there's a much bigger problem on the horizon. There are going to be long-lasting effects, things that could potentially end up decreasing the lifespan of a person who had the virus. But I would encourage all of you to go ahead and have some doubt anytime somebody tells you something, including what I've told you today. I would warn you against using anybody else's posts, even if it is a trusted news source. Try to find the actual research, done usually by a university or by a third party where they are peer reviewed. Those are your most reliable sources to, in the end, actually get the facts.
Don't touch your eyes, don't touch your eyes, don't touch your nose, don't touch your nose, don't touch your mouth, don't touch your mouth. That's how it goes, that's how it goes. All the germs, every place, don't touch your mouth, don't touch your mouth, don't touch your face, don't touch your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your face. That is the trick, so you don't get